Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. For this video, I am going to present you the rejuvenation of Kampung Batu 4, which is my final project for LAS 615 Regional Landscape Planning. But before we start, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Nurbalqis binti Azman and I am from AP2485A student from UiTM Puncak Alam. So, let's start the presentation right now. For my final project, I choose Jetty Kampung Batu 4, which is located in Mukim Kapal, Klang, or more specifically at a fisherman village in Kampung Batu 4. This site is located at the end of many river branch of Sungai Pulau. This site was founded in 1422, which is occupied by Majapahit and then transformed into Klang Mandaliraja in 2022. The local here are mainly relying on fishing, which is the main occupation of the locals. They also do other activities on free time, which is agriculture and farming, to accommodate their basic needs as well as not to rely on fishing only. Moving on to the problem statement. My site is heavily contains many issues of unutilized spaces, which creates a segregation of identity and also spaces. This can be seen on the screen where most of the spaces are heavily disconnected and contains waste which make people doesn't want to go there. Other than that, there's a degradation of water quality due to human activity and destruction of natural elements. This causes a water pollution and degradation of habitat where certain habitats are relying on aqua living to survive, such as stock that are eating fish to live. Due to the water pollution, fish in this area cannot survive, which also make iron lesser. Not to forget, humans also need fish as a protein. This natural recycle is vital for a living thing. In order to tackle the issues, this site must focus on its treatment and create their own natural recycle. For the regulating services, which is mangrove, creates a wall barrier between land and river using its form and root. This creates regulating, which it creates a buffer for people to go near the shoreline, which is dangerous for their safety. It also gives water purification and filtration from the aquaponic system. For supporting services, fishery from pond and river creates food and economic opportunities. Mangrove forestry also gives clean air and agriculture using vegetable give food system. For provisional services, there are food system from fish by fishing and vegetable as well as food for other wild animals. Water system give people clean water usage for daily lives as well as other ecosystem to use and drink and live. So, to solve the issues, I aim to rejuvenate Jetty Kampung Batu 4 through rehabilitation of ecosystem and cultural identity towards environmentally sustainable living. This leads to three objectives that I have to achieve by water quality, identity, and economy. Firstly, my objective is to improve natural water quality and ecosystem by using planting remediation strategy and aquaponic system. Second, to integrate the identity of Jetty Kampung Batu 4 along the street by using cultural streetscape design elements, and lastly, to propose fish market and riverfront landscape design to evoke economic growth and tourism attraction. With aim and objective, the outcome of my concept is the natural loop. The natural loop is environmental cycle which continuously happen in our surrounding that I relate with my proposal. There are various of cycles in my site which improve the environment, ecosystem as well as relate with the human existence in my site. Moving on to my enlargement plan. For my programming, I propose community garden, jetty trail, bird conservation, pollinator path, pocket park, playground, and main entrance on the east side of my enlargement. Meanwhile, for my west enlargement, there is mangrove preservation, mangrove trail, fish market, parking, aquaponic pond, and mangrove forest. So, how are we going to solve the issues? I have two strategies which is focused on riverbank, mangrove, and also an aquaponic fish pond where I propose to boost the water quality and agriculture system. For the riverbank, I use plant remediation techniques where plants provide filtration towards water they live in. The mechanism I use is in situ, which that plant treat the pollutions while the soil remains in the subsurface. This will not harm other natural elements. I split the riverbank part into 5 parts that have their own benefits towards ecosystem. This is called as environmental cycle. Plants such as nelumbu is a self-cleaning agent which also benefits others. Meanwhile, aquaponics help to remediate the water using agriculture on top of the pond and recycle it back to the fish underneath it, while the fish also provide nutrients to the plants. On mangrove, the roots help prevent flood as well as give air to specific creatures. Next, section elevation. At the left side, we can see the aquaponic pond, where the pond before is a fish pond with bad quality of water and view, which kind of disturbing for an ecosystem. With the existence of aquaponic system, it can solve 2 issues towards water quality and habitat degradation. No need to use a prohibited substances, where this system is natural recycle system which also create a food cycle for human and fish. As I mentioned before, the plant on the river on the right side also can trap pollution for its river quality. Move on to perspective. Aside from water quality treatment, I also remediate the identity which use the identity of Jetty on my design elements, which is on the main entrance gateway. There is sampan influence shape on the top of the gateway known as Linggi Sampan and jala on the bottom of post to remind people that they are in a fisherman village. This create a sense of place as well as create a healthy well-being based on recreational park alongside the river. The lamp also use sampan elements, which is wood, to express familiarity towards the site. I also propose fish market to increase the identity of fishermen and boost local economic growth aside focusing on farming and fishing. By this, it creates natural reaction of cycle which involve cycle between people and nature. But before I propose the design element that I mentioned before, I use 2 guidelines from Malaysian government and UNESCO, where if there is further development within mangrove swamps, it is considered forbidden to preserve the mangrove. For cultural, state parties should endeavour its active measure taken for the protection, conservation and presentation of the cultural and natural heritage. With the existence of the guidelines, I don't throw the identity away, but to rehabilitate it into more attractive landscape. In conclusion, cultural, nature, tourism and economic creates a sustainable living where it changes the Jetty landscape point, which also beneficial for environment, ecosystem and human cycle. That's all from me. Thank you and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.